Okay, so today we are going to look at properties of translations. And before we get started, I want to talk about them a little bit. So translations are always going to stay the same size and the same shape. And we know that if something stays the same size and the same shape, we consider that to be congruent. But properties of translations are also going to preserve orientation. So they're going to keep the same orientation. The word preserve means the same orientation. Okay? So if we look down here at the notes, it says a blank, and we're going to write in the word transformation. I know that's not a lot of room to write, but we'll just pretend we'll write off to the side there. A transformation is a change in the position, size, or shape of a figure. Okay? So a translation would be a transformation. When you perform a transformation of a figure on a coordinate plane, the input of the transformation is called the pre-image. So we're going to fill that in with pre-image. Now remember, with dilations we called that our old. And then the output of the transformation is going to be called the image. It is going to be what we have our little hyphen up here, or what we call our little tick mark. That's what we've been calling that. So that's going to be what that is. Okay? So let's define a translation. A translation is a transformation that slides along a straight line. Okay, so all we're really doing with it is sliding. And if you want to put up here slide under transformation, some people call it a slide. The math term for it is translation, but if you want to call it a slide, you can do that. Okay, it's not really hard. We are going to talk about the algebraic representation as we go. I think it's easier to remember that way. If you look at this, it says the figure shows parallelogram ABCD, and it says graph the image of the parallelogram after a translation of 5 units to the left and 2 units down. I always come over here and I write 5 and I make an arrow going left, and then I write 2 and I make an arrow going down. That way I know where I'm moving on my transformation here. Because it's a little bit hard to see, I'm going to outline this shape so that you can see it and see where it's at on the graph. Okay, here's how you write the algebraic representation. We know that 5, if it goes left and right, it goes with the X. 2 goes up and down, so it's going to go with the Y. Now what we have to figure out is, if 5 is going left, it's going towards the negative, so we're going to subtract 5. So when 5 goes left, it's a subtraction. If it goes right, it's an addition. And it's not always going to be 5. It's just if it's moving left or right. So we're going to write XY, just like we did with dilations. But we're going to change this up a little bit. And we're going to say X, since it's going left, that's minus, and it's going 5 places, so minus 5. Y is going down, so that is a minus, and so it's going to be Y minus 2. Okay? Then, to transform it up here, all we're going to do is take each point. A, we're going to go left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2. And we're going to make A prime. Then we're going to take B, and we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2. B prime. Remember, if you need to slow down the video, go ahead. That's fine. We're going to go to D and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2. and we're going to have D prime. And then we're going to go C and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2, C prime. Then all we have to do is connect our dots. And if I drew my line straight, this shape would match this shape. It's just a little bit, it's in a different direction. Okay? Let's look at this one. I have to move a little bit faster on the videos because I don't have much time, but if you need to go back, go back. It's hard to see this one right here. Okay, over here it tells us to plot points. So we're going to plot some points. A is sitting at negative 1, 2. So in this case, we're starting at the origin because we're starting with the original figure. And we're going to go left 1, up 2. And that's going to be our A. It's not our prime. This is our original figure. For B, we're going to go left 1, up 6. We're going to put a point right here. And then for C, we're going to start at the origin, go left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put a point here. And that's going to be our C. Then we're just going to connect the dots. This is our original figure. Now it tells me to go 4 right, so I'm going to write 4, and I'm going to put an arrow facing right, and 3 down. Okay? There's my X. That goes with my Y. So XY is going to be X. It's going right, so it's a positive 4, plus 4. And then comma Y, it's going down, so it is minus 3. That's all we do to write the algebraic representation. All right, let's start with B. We're going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a point here, and we're going to call it B prime. Then we're going to take C and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a point here, C prime. Then A is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Put a point here, and that's A prime. Then we just connect the dots again. That's all there is to it. We just translated this figure into the new figure. Okay, let's see what it asks us to do here. This says if point A translates 3 units down, so I'm going to write 3 and an arrow down, and 5 units to the right, so 5 right, what would the new coordinates be for point A, for A prime? Okay, so we're starting at A, and we're going 3 down, 1, 2, 3, and 5 right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put A prime right here. So my new point is going to be 2, 0. Remember, we go left and right first, up and down second. We didn't move anywhere, so it's 2, 0. Okay? The next question says, if point C translates 5 units up, 5 up, and 4 units to the left, what quadrant is it going to be in? Okay, so we're going to start on C, and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put a C prime right here. Okay, and that is actually going to end up in quadrant 2. All right, let's look here. All this really wants us to do is it wants us to figure it without having a figure, if that makes sense. Here it gives us our rule, and it says x plus 3, y minus 1. I don't want you to get confused with this x and this y because those are just points. X, y, z are your points. So here we would say x, and then we're going to take our x from here, which is 0, and the rule says plus 3 with x. Our y is also 0, and the rule says minus 1. So our x prime is going to be 3, negative 1. All I did was said 0 plus 3, 0 minus 1. I got 3, negative 1. Okay, y is going to be 2 plus 3, because that's what we do, 2x. And then our y on this one is 3 minus 1. So y prime is 5, because 2 plus 3 is 5, comma, 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? Then we're going to look at z, and our x for z is 4 plus 3, comma, negative 1 minus 1. So z prime is 4 plus 3 is 7. 1 minus 1 is negative 2. That's all you do with that. It's not hard. It's pretty simple. Okay. On this one, you're going to work some of these on your own. I'm going to work them a little bit so that you can see if you got them right. You can come back and check. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my points. There's 4 of them. And then if you look right here, it gives me my algebraic representation. It says x minus 6. I have to write that up a little bit because I don't have much room. And y minus 3. I'm going to write the word prime over here since it didn't name the points. And then I'm just going to go fill in like I did before. X is 0 minus 6 because that came from there. Y is negative 2 minus 3 because that came from there. So that gives me negative 6 comma negative 5. I want you to go stop the video for a minute, try some of these on your own, and then come back and see if your answers match. Okay, you should be able to check your answers now, see if those line up. Then I want you to move to this one. I want you to stop the video, and I want you to go work this one. Don't forget to write your algebraic representation. Okay, and then you're just going to go fill in points. Nothing like a fire drill in the middle of a video. So I'm going to fill this in real quick, and then I'm going to leave the building, but you should have gotten that answer. If you have any questions, please come see me during tutoring.